We will now move to the Chancellor's report. Chancellor?
Thank you, President Bonilla. Board of Trustees, colleagues, and community, welcome. I'm so happy to be here with you today. I think if it's okay with you, President Bonilla, that we'll start with the President's reports, and then I will come bring closure to those. So if it's all right, could we please start with Berkeley City College?
Good evening, buenas tardes. Our Madam Board President, trustees, my fellow colleagues, and the community. I have submitted for your review the news for the board report, but I do want to take a moment to just highlight a few things. And the first is really wanting to celebrate the Berkeley City College community we just received news that we received a Developing HSI Title V grant titled Conocimiento los Caminos to support our ever-growing Latinx student community. Special thank you to the team who brought that grant proposal through. And so for my colleagues, Vice President Stacy Shears, Associate Dean Martin de Muchaflores, Vice President of Instruction Kuni Hay, and our lead researcher Pumi Sayovang. Such great work, and we just feel really honored and proud at the work that we're going to be able to do to serve our community. It's so important as a developing HSI that we recognize that it's about being a Hispanic serving institution and not a Hispanic enrolling institution. And so we're looking forward to promoting student success, access, and ultimately completion. The details of that particular grant will be forthcoming, but we're just really, really excited. The second thing that I'd like to just share and highlight is that we had a phenomenal accreditation day last week, and the work around the college and the energy to continue to complete and finalize our institutional self-evaluation report has just been a many-handed effort. And the accreditation team has tagged a logo for us, and we are calling it Know It, Show It. So we're going to know the good work that we are doing, and we're going to be able to show it. And if I may, I wanted to conclude the comments with this because our BCC accreditation team created a TikTok video. And with your permission, Madam Board President, I'd like to share it. It's about 45 seconds long, and I'm hoping that I can be successful with it. Would that be okay with you? Okay.
Of course.
Thank you. Okay, let me.
Our lead tech person, which is our Madam Clerk, is going to help you with that.
Okay, I am going to, there we go. So let me make sure I have all the sound ready to go. All right, can everyone see the screen largely?
Yes, we can.
Great, okay, now I'm crossing fingers and toes that this sound will work. Okay, in case you don't know, that is our former Academic Senate President and faculty member, Kelly Purnell. So here we go.
Shoes, gotta take a deep breath, time to focus on you. All the big fights, long nights that you've been through. I got a bottle of tequila I've been saving for you. Boss up and change your life. You can have it all, no sacrifice.
Thank you for indulging me with that. We had so much fun with that because we're just committed to saying that we love accreditation.
I recommend that you send that to ACCJC.
Yeah, yes, we can definitely work on that. And I really want to thank our Public Information Officer, Dr. Felicia Bridges, who pulled together, everyone was in a remote environment and sending in their respective video clips. So it was a fun way to really kick off the energy of what it is to tell our story. And we have done a lot of work. We have acknowledged that we have done a lot of work, and we also are telling the story that while there's still work to be done, we are completely committed to supporting students in this community, and especially the broader Peralta Community College District. So my concluding remarks are about the November response letter. Again, that also is in the report. and just wanting to share that we've had the opportunity at Berkeley City College to have this come to our highest governance group for 2 opportunities for discussion and sharing the very good work that we're doing in terms of highlighting the examples to address the deficiencies that the commission is still asking of us to do. And I am very grateful to my fellow president colleagues and vice chancellors and our acting chancellor, because it has been a team lift to really be responsive to meet those November reports. So with that, Madam President, that concludes my report for Berkeley City College. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Garcia, for your report. And so now we would go to Don Miller, Dr. Don Miller from College of Alameda.
Dr. Miller, unmute.
Yep.
Yeah, there you go.
All set. Good evening, President Bonilla, Chancellor Walter, trustees, and other guests. I see that Dr. Garcia has thrown down the TikTok challenge for the future. We'll work on it. That's great. What a wonderful way to celebrate ICER work. So COA, I turned in my report, but I'll just give a few highlights to the board and the attendees. Like Berkeley City College, we've been working fast and furious on the ICER and the November response letter with great teams of faculty, staff, administrators, and others preparing the ICER, great teams of support people for the November letter. Last week, I was able to host an open forum with some valiant souls that gave feedback on the November letter, asked some really good questions, gave me thoughts and ideas for things to add to our response. So we were excited, or I was, to add those in to the upcoming letter that will be submitted. Just a few highlights of campus right now. We have our library is doing a curbside pickup of library materials, including our Chromebooks, calculators, books, and other reading materials. So it's very exciting. They have a system set up on their website on how students can apply for any of those materials and arrange a day and time to pick them up. And so things are going great so far. We're looking forward also to our certified nursing assistant program opening up in spring, pending approval of internships in certified nursing facilities. So we look forward to that possibility. We'll see. All depends upon changes in regulations regarding the pandemic and healthcare facilities. Also, our Umoja program is going, as well as our Puente program. So we're just excited to support both of those with both curriculum and events virtual this fall, although they may be. But it's exciting to support the learning communities on campus. Also, another note, and look forward to a future announcement, but as you may recall, this year, 2020, celebrates the 50th anniversary of the founding of College of Alameda. So we're looking at creating a virtual event and a potential fundraiser for student scholarships. So we'll announce the date in an upcoming meeting. And I'm looking forward to getting a campus team together to discuss all the activities and history of the past 5 decades of the college. So, and that concludes my report for this evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Miller, for that report. And so now we will go to Dr. David Johnson for Merritt College.
Hey, thank you, Chancellor. Good evening, everyone. Board President, board, community members, faculty, staff. Just want to start by saying congratulations to COA. 50, you don't look a day over 25, so keep whatever you're doing, keep doing it. Like the other presidents, I just want to say briefly, we are on track. We're working hard to make certain that our draft of our November 1st letter is ready for your consideration. We're looking forward to the board, looking forward to getting your feedback. and input and incorporating that. We're also trying to make sure that everyone at our college, all of our college constituencies have had the opportunity to vet it and contribute to its development. Our accreditation steering committee, our classified senate, academic senate have all weighed in. With regard to our ICER, is being finalized, and we're really looking at it and trying to create a culture where the ICER really represents a tremendous opportunity for the college to share its advancements, share its accomplishments. So we will have that to you all in time for your first review at the October 27th board meeting. Just specifically, we've done several things over the past couple of months related to the ICER. We've had meetings. We've had we had our spring planning summit. We had our accreditation day last week. We have a fall planning summit on Friday. So each of these things provide campus opportunity to provide feedback. I want to give a special shout out to the people who've been working very, very, very hard. We've been pretty fortunate at Merritt that participation has been pretty far reaching, but I have to give a shout out to a couple of people, in particular, the members of our accreditation steering team, Dan Lawson, Nathan Pellegrin, Tashetta Henry, Tom Rimbarger, Hillary Altman, Stephanie Harding, Neem Tai, who's actually drafting the ICER, and my ALO, Dr. Denise Richardson. So I just want to make sure that I acknowledged them. And I think one of the most significant accomplishments that's come out of this whole process is the establishment of the Merit Accreditation Committee, because we don't want to find ourselves constantly in a position of just worrying about accreditation when our visit is coming. So this is really a concerted effort for us to think about it in between, in the years in between. So we're making sure that we're doing all the things that we say we want to do, and we're doing them well, so we don't find ourselves in a posture of just having to react to an impending visit. I just wanted to point out a couple of quick things that are happening on campus. Merritt College, we're very proud to be one of the founding members of the Eastside Oakland Ventures, ESO Ventures. This was formerly known as the East Oakland Entrepreneur Initiative, and it provides support, pathways, and funding sources for entrepreneurs from historically disadvantaged communities. So we're very excited to be working with them. Anyone who wants to know any more about that or get involved, you can just go to eso-ventures.com or reach out to one of my deans, Dean Amboy or Dean Holloway. I also, good news, whenever you get some money, it's good news. Our urban agroecology program was recently awarded $100,000 from the United States Department of Agriculture for their proposal titled, let me get this right, Building Beginning Farmer Resilience Through Hybrid Education, Urban Rural Networks, Mentorship, and Incubation. So you should give us $100,000 for that title. So we're working very closely with the Bay Area Farmer Training Program, and we're developing some experimental learning opportunities this summer. So we're very excited about that. Finally, two things coming out of financial aid, very good news. The first is last week we had a visit from the Department of Education to follow up from last year's appraisal of our financial aid operations. Last year we were given 12 recommendations, things to work on, but I'm very, very pleased to report that we adequately addressed all 12 recommendations, came through with flying colors, so we are good to go in that area. So I'm very excited about that. And I'm even more excited by our director, Ernesto Neri, has launched the financial aid chatbot. It's nicknamed, I was debating whether I was going to share the nickname. It's nicknamed Fundy, which is short for Thunderbird. That's our mascot up at Merritt. And we've already, that chatbot has already interacted with 1,000 students in the last month. And it responds immediately 24/7, 7 days a week, 365 to students. And it can respond in English, Spanish, Mandarin, and Cantonese. So I thought that was pretty cool. So that concludes Merritt's report. And good seeing you all. It's been a minute.
Thank you so much, Dr. Johnson. Yes, Thundy, we'll have to interact.
Yeah.
Okay, Dr. Besikof from Laney College.
Yes, good evening, Chancellor, members of the board, and fellow educational leaders. Certainly a pleasure to be speaking to you this evening. I actually, on the report that you received from Laney College that was submitted last week, I have to, and this is actually a pleasure, provide you with a correction. Under our weekly meal distribution update, you received the update that of our increase to 3 days per week as I had reported last month. Well, I have to go ahead and correct that because actually earlier this week, our Vice President of Administrative Services, Derek Pinto, informed me that we are now going to 4 days a week with meal distribution. So while I will not get into those 4-digit numbers that you see on the report, I'll just leave you with 2 numbers. 550, the number of meals that will now be distributed each week, or excuse me, per day, 4 days a week, and 450, which is the number of produce boxes that will be distributed each week. Really appreciative to administrative services as well as our food services. And I know I say this every report, but thanks so much to the Eat, Learn, Play Foundation and the World Central Kitchen for the amazing differences you're making to our students at Laney College. Certainly, just to update you all on accreditation, our work on our ICER actually began within our shared governance committees back in fall of 2019, and we are building up, and we've certainly done a lot of work. And tomorrow, I'm so pleased to say that our ICER is actually going for first read at College Council and is going to be vetted to our senates, and then we'll come back for second read in October. And certainly the progress is moving on that. With the need to kind of bring that to a place of finality, our next step also is going to be to begin to update our campus and our senates on our progress with relative to the November response letter. So many folks have been working very hard at Laney College on accreditation, and I can't thank them enough. Although I have to say, Dr. Garcia, my phone has been blowing up about our soundtrack for our TikTok that's coming. So I'll just share that on accreditation. I'm also pleased to report that in August, Laney College completed its work as part of the statewide MAPPER project for guided pathways. Laney's completion of this project is truly noteworthy. Despite joining this 3-year-old initiative only 6 months ago, we are the 9th college out of the 33 participating to finish the project. This work is now featured in our efforts. They're featured nationally. In fact, most recently today, in the American Association of Community Colleges, and that's the national AACC organization's Community College Daily publication. Laney's guided pathways maps consist of over 75 easy to navigate maps where students get information not only about degrees and certificates and the classes required, but also information about career and salary information that allows them to do backwards planning, which I think is awesome. And students who may not be sure about their careers get to explore 8 areas of interest that were created at our campus level. In terms of the nomenclature with other institutions or around the state, you might hear meta major, but with Laney, we call them areas of interest. They were crafted at Laney by our Guided Pathways work group, and a lot of the vetting for publicity and things like that really began with our faculty, our classified professionals, and our administrators. So this is something that's exciting. And why is it exciting? Well, it's a project that is really going to help students. And it's something that, as we've moved forward, has been grounded in data and research. In fact, the members of the Guided Pathways work group surveyed students about the college catalog and asked about that in terms of choosing a major or choosing a career. And a lot of the responses showed that while some students were aware of the catalog, others were not, and still others, in responding to the catalog, actually spoke about the college schedule. So this is something that is really going to help our students identify their paths and to select one as we move forward. What are our next steps? Because we're not stopping now. We're going to continue with a social media-driven awareness campaign about our areas of interest. And we're going to be doing that with an initiative that is going to have faculty members and classified professionals serving as co-coordinators for each of our 8 areas of interest to promote awareness of all we have with guided pathways, our maps, and our areas of interest at Laney. I would be so remiss if I did not thank a number of people that were involved with this. Of course, our guided pathways coordinators, Susan Timrosavala and Eleni Gastis, just your leadership is awesome. And within that leadership core, I have to give a shout out to Vice President of Student Services, Vicki Ferguson. Also during the summer, a lot of this work on the maps came from our department chairs who put in so much time. Our counseling faculty were instrumental in piloting things. Our guided pathways work group, which I talked about. But then within the Office of Instruction, I also have to say thank you to our curriculum specialist, Iolani Sodi Garabin, who worked extensively with Concentric Sky, which was the software company that helped us to build our website support. Guided Pathways is something you've all heard about, but truly this initiative is something that we at Laney have taken and made our own, and I'm so proud. Speaking of being proud of things, I wanted to share that also this last week, in September, we got the news that we were awarded a $1.5 million grant through our APAS program, and this is also in your board report. It's a prestigious grant through our Asian Pacific American Student Success Program, and it's one that we were eligible for as an ANAPISI or Asian American, Native American Pacific Islander Serving Institution grant to support job training, job placement, and career pathways for our students who speak English as a second or other language, as well as our Asian American Pacific Islander students. In terms of this grant, what will be coming is absolutely outstanding because it's going to support the hiring of CTE counselors and career coaches that will provide a number of services to students, and the communication going out will not only be available in English, but also in Chinese, Vietnamese, Spanish, and Lao. This is truly a great accomplishment, and I want to thank all those that were instrumental in the grant, particularly Dr. David Lee, Dr. Mildred Lewis, Susan Tinker, within the APAS office, staff member Huishen Su, she goes by Joan also, and Dr. Patricia Nielsen. Really, as you can hear in my reports every week, everything that goes on at Laney is really a team, and it's something of which we're very proud. And as my final word tonight, on a matter of pride, I would like to say thank you to the many faculty, to the many classified professionals, particularly Director Amy Marshall, and to administrators for doing all of the work that it has taken to make our career education labs as well as our athletics conditioning classes start this week. This concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Besikof, for that report. And my report is going to be very brief as well. I wanted to make sure that everyone knows that our whole district, if you can't tell by the reports from the presidents, are all aligning around the accreditation process and also institutionalizing the accreditation standards in everything that we do. And so, again, yes, a big thank you, because it is not just one person, but it's every person. When we send out an email asking for information, or we say we want to move this forward for a particular idea or context, we're always situating it with what's the evidence and what is the standard and how are we going to document it. And so for that, I feel like it's a really great forward leap for us. And to that end, we have also brought in community college experts who are very well versed in the ACC-JC processes to help us to review our documents before they are submitted. We want to have expert feedback on what we're doing so that it's very, very, very meticulous and what's going to be submitted. So again, I can't even really express how grateful I am for everyone's effort, but also to express the number of people who have their eyes. And I love that TikTok video because it shows the whole, sleeping with, with the process and at the beach and just, living it day to day. So I want to just make sure I thank everybody for that. Secondly, I want to talk a little bit about the September 14th opening of the CE labs and to share with everyone the decision to move forward with the September 14th lab openings and the athletic conditioning, and that whole process again was a district community oriented lift. I want to thank the faculty and the PFT for their input and what they've provided over time. And what we're really looking at is what we're being told that we can do within the parameters of the COVID-19 pandemic. So for example, we are instructed as a community college district that we can offer CE courses, and there are some particular arrangements that we have to make in order to offer those classes, and we have done that. And faculty are, if they want to opt out, they are certainly welcome to do that, and we will make sure that they are accommodated and there will be no harm, no foul. Students and other employees as well, there are protocols in place that are set based on the authorities' guidelines, that is the State Chancellor's Office, the California Department of Health, the CDC, Alameda County, and so forth, so that we are very clear about what we are to do in the case of a COVID-19 outbreak. We have plans in place to make sure that if we do have to close, we are able to move quickly with those plans and then ensure that everyone has the necessary equipment to sanitize and use protective personal equipment as well. So I just want to emphasize that we are working to be in compliance with our state chancellor and other authorities, as we also honor the good work that the faculty have been doing to prepare these essential workers and these essential groups to go out and meet this COVID-19 pandemic, which is still raging. And the final thing I'll say is there's a new protocol that the Governor Newsom shared or mandated, really, and these are color-coded tiers of infection rates. And so, as you know, or I hope you know, Alameda County is in the purple category, which is the highest rate of infection. And so we are very, very mindful of how that might be impacting us, and we are following those guidelines. The next thing I would like to talk about is, and this will be in response to how we're notifying what we're doing for spring. And it is true that we are anticipating, like many of our sister districts and colleges up and down the state, we are anticipating remaining in an online distance ed environment with the same sort of protocols for CE courses, and we await the direction from the athletic commission to let us know exactly what we are supposed to be doing for our athletic courses and training. So that announcement was included, although maybe we might amplify that in a second announcement going forward. But this is what the colleges and districts up and down the state are doing, and many of them are already even claiming what they're going to be doing for summer. We haven't gotten there yet, but hopefully we'll be able to, make that announcement. So, and finally, in terms of working conditions for our employees, we will be looking for our Human Resources Department to help provide guidance on what those working conditions would be in the spring, and we will be looking for an announcement to come out from that office. And then finally, I just want to mention that our security plan work is going forward. We have been informed that the RFP process has moved. We're going to be looking for some recommendations next week. And I'm very excited to say that we are moving forward with that process. We have our director Etheria Smith and many, many other people working with her to ensure that we keep that security plan on track. And so with that, I think that would conclude my report. I'm going to have to take some notes from the college president and see if I can get TikTok videos up here. So thank you, President Bonilla.
Thank you, Chancellor Walter.